Latino community is making the same exact mistakes as BLM did back 5 years ago, and that is they have an ends justifying the means policy, and that means they're gonna act out and do whatever. But the difference is because, like, remember what I said, BLM had a 70% approval rating. That's why they were able to kind of carry it on for as long as they were able to. Mass deportations have an over 50% approval rating. So the Latinos who are burning the American flag. When I was covering protests in LA, a high schooler stabbed another high schooler in the back. Doing the street takeovers, like acting foolish, acting like a bunch of idiots. I'm gonna say it. They're only gonna make mass deportations popular. Like, I mean, why would you wave a Mexican flag or Guatemalan flag in the United States to advocate to stay in the United States? If you were advocating for Mexico to take over America, okay, fine. Like, it's still dumb, but at least that makes sense. But if you're gonna wave a Mexican flag in the United States to say no, we're staying, like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, is it both your sense that the American people are on the side of deportations?
For now, yes. That might change again if something happens, right? But for now, yes. But and I think if these protests that and I have skin, I literally have skin in the game on this, right? Because I look like them. They're shooting them. They're hurting themselves and the movement by acting that way. They are not making any sort of they're not winning the public relations battle right now, because they're fighting deportations of people that are like actual hardened criminals. Yes, other people have been swept up just by proxy, but obviously I think as time goes on, yeah, anybody who is in the country illegally is gonna be swept up. But you would think that you would want to wait before you start saying, like, we need to stop deportations. Like, really? I want the Nicaragua out of here.
Yeah,
you should too. So it's very interesting, and it's frustrating personally because what was the stereotype of illegal immigrants prior to all this? It was people that would come in on their own dime, make a better life for themselves, keep their head down, and just provide for their families. That was generally right. That was a general stereotype. Now it's people that just want handouts. I mean, they get taken care of every step of the way now, from whatever country of origin through Mexico, and then they're in the United States, and then they get the hotels and everything, and so they become entitled. That's like one of the biggest things that I've heard recently within the Latino community, within the immigrant community, that these new immigrants, they are totally not like what people were, that have been here for 20, 30 years. They just want handouts. A lot of them, not every single one of them, but just from my reporting, yeah.
Do you think that that's a phenomenon that is because of the last 4 years?
Oh,
yeah. Because it's my sense that that the general consensus, like Julio was saying, is that your average, whether they be illegal or legal immigrant, average person, probably from somewhere in South America, they came here, made it here, and they just wanted to come here for, to be able to work and have a better life. And I feel like that has changed significantly because of the border policies of the Biden administration. What's your thought?
Well, we were at the border in March of 2021 outside McAllen at La Jolla. And the thing that I recall the most from that was, A, people were coming in through the gaps in the wall, and B, every single person who was coming across the border that we talked to said, why are you coming right now? They said, yeah, because Joe Biden is president now, and they knew that they were going to get free flights to the interior of the country, and that they were going to be able to basically get the handouts that we're talking about. So I think the difference, my question there is, like, can we really blame those people? Like, those people, I'm not saying that they, are like great people. You can, they're breaking the law. But with that being said, the Biden administration put a open for business sign it was on the southern border. And they, not only that, they said, hey, and to boot, we're going to give you guys free flights to the interior. We're going to put you up in a hotel for months, and we're going to give you a prepaid credit card and cell phones.
Yeah, no, it was a big pull factor, and that's what made the border crisis so egregious. Just because, yes, but just by the United States being as is, thankfully it's still prosperous mostly. That is going to draw people to the country to come illegally, but then you don't have to. The federal government shouldn't be encouraging that, which is exactly what they were doing. And then, of course, the sanctuary cities.
And the NGOs, by the way. Right, like these Catholic NGOs, that in every one of these small towns, people might not realize there's no Border Patrol hospital. So this is all like local infrastructure that's taking care of this crisis at the border, of these small towns that are along the border. And it's the NGOs, like I noticed in La Jolla specifically, that there was a Catholic NGO that was literally housing the people at the border until they were able to find whoever they were going to on the interior of the country, and then providing them with everything that they needed to leave the border and go to the interior of the country. So with respect to what you were saying earlier about the NGOs, I think that that's another place to look for why is it that these charities are enabling this kind of stuff?
Is it your understanding that it is mostly charities? Because I feel like it was a lot of actual fronts that USAID were.
Oh yeah,
involved.
for sure.
USAID
They were.
I'd say it'd be like, I'd say it's about 50.
They'd show up with like instructions. So these people were told exactly how to come up through Mexico and exactly what they had to say at the border in order to claim asylum. And that was like the UN had an association, USAID. Certainly those groups were participating in informing people on how to get across the border and how to game this system properly.
Yeah, I find it. I find the revelations about USAID to be concerning, to say the least. And I think that it's my understanding that they're a significant they were a significant problem as to our whole border conundrum. I've talked about the HHS program, the refugee resettlement program that would just, if you could get to the U.S. border and get across, all you had to do was say you were looking for asylum, which is illegal. You're supposed to go to ports of entry if you're looking for asylum and claim asylum at a port of entry. But if you get across and just look for a border agent to pick you up and say asylum, if you can articulate that one word, then you were set onto the refugee resettlement program, and you were going to get food and water and like you both were saying earlier, a nice hotel room, et cetera. And it doesn't matter if you can speak English or whatever. So
thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon. So subscribe and come hang out.